It is a Sweets overload. Hey, this is GatorX. We're back with another TCG Pocket deck. Eevee Grove is out, so I went ahead and built the cheapest, quickest thing I could. This is Sweets Relay / Sweets Overload. The entire crux of the deck, which by the way, here's the deck list. The entire crux of the deck revolves around a bunch of Pokemon that know the same move, Sweets Relay, which increases damage if a Pokemon had used Sweets Relay during the last turn. All of it capping off with Alcremie, which has Sweets Overload, dealing 40 damage times the number of times that you've used Sweets Relay during the game. So, very good, low energy cost here. Let's go ahead and check out the deck. I'll hop online. I've been playing it a bit, so let me see if I can record some good games here. Hopefully, we can go, hey, Tails. Nice. You love to see it. Really helpful in this deck, especially if you can start with Slurpuff, which unfortunately I did not. And unfortunately, they start with a Tight Null. That is a really hard thing to stare down in this deck, especially if you can't get your evolutions going just yet, because it just deals a lot of damage quickly, potentially with the coin flip, and then obviously evolving to Tight Null next turn. You probably know. And they got 2 Pokeballs turn 1. Actually, I do, coming around to my turn. And it is Dragonite. I have knocked out quite a few Dragonites with this, though I normally don't see them paired up with Tight Null. Either way, let's go ahead and Pokeball 1, and that'll get me Swirlix here. Again, unfortunate that I didn't start with the Swirlix, so I'm going to have to attack with the Milcery here, and then hope that things work out, and that maybe I can get a Swirl or Slurpuff soon. That would be really nice. Here, let me not miss a Sweets Relay. Do I cape in the world that they do? No, that's only going to do 20. Okay. Or 20 extra. So we can start the Sweets Relay here. The downside is that turn 1, you're always going to do like 10 damage. And so it feels like, ooh, I'm not making much progress. But then it quickly becomes 30, quickly becomes 90, and so on and so on. And, ooh, they are just not going to attack with this Silvally here. I am sort of fine with that. However, it's going to auto knock out basically anything that comes up, but we can actually do some funny finagling. So let me go ahead and retreat out into the Swirlix here. We'll attach that. I've got a Sabrina, so I'm going to kind of mix them up a bit. And maybe, just maybe, I'll put the cape on this one to be safe. We'll go ahead and Sweets Relay, and now we hit 430. Going into their turn, they'll need a way to get Tight Null out of the active spot, or they'll probably just attach right to it. Or maybe they'll let this one die and start putting on... Okay, no, they're going to attach to it. So are they going to go for the... Are they going to go for the just attack and hope for heads? Okay, Irida, healing. That is good on their end. That is good on their end. They get the tails, thankfully. So I will be able to swiftly knock out this Tight Null easily. However, that doesn't put me in the best position. So let's go ahead and evolve that Alcremie. And I say this, but actually the only other Pokemon in my deck are 2 Slurpuff. Well, actually, and one more Alcremie. So it's not what you wanted to draw. Not at all what I wanted to draw. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and hit a Sweets Relay here. And we'll keep stacking things up. Pretty soon we'll get to the point. As long as we can keep energy off of the Dragonair, we're pretty good. That has been 3 Sweets Relays so far. So Alcremie's hitting for 120 already. I think I want to keep building up the Sweets Relay before I bring in Alcremie, because that'll be like a really fun surprise. Really, really ideally... are we going to see the... Oh no, they're going to attack with this. Okay. And they get the heads. So I think I really just stay in on this Swirlix here. There's Irida. We can actually... Yeah, we can... Irida. I don't know if I want to do that just yet, actually. Well, it'll keep this one in for a while, and it'll put the pressure on them to try and switch, and let me last longer to use more Sweets Relays, I guess. Though doing it only the one, that isn't, amazing. But hopefully we can do this, bait it out, bait it to evolve into something, or get the other Silvally out. Just the fact that, again, they haven't stuck any energy on that. So we're going to see it come in here. They're going to evolve it into that Silvally, which has a whole 50. Kind of hate to see it. So I'm really going to need a way to get to Slurpuff soon. Let's go ahead and send in the Swirlix here. Not amazing, though. Hey, there's a Slurpuff. So now we evolve, and then now we just knock this one out. And thankfully, I will survive another Silvally. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, just the fact that so far, Dragonair has done nothing. So there's my point. I will survive a hit from that Silvally. And in all honesty, I think it's done from here. There's a Dragonite with no energy on it. 1 energy. Silvally, will Silvally be able to, well, it's not going to knock me out, but will it be able to even get the supporter boost? Do they have a supporter? Brave Buddies for 50. You know, let's go and do it. Let's go with Professors. They're not in a good spot, but we can actually go ahead and just, with no energy in play, I'm going to go ahead hard retreat the Slurpuff out into the Alcremie, and then Alcremie is going to swing for 200 now. Knock out the Silvally. They've got basically no energy on board. The big Dragonite's a sitting duck, and we're hitting for 200 on basically everything. So, that's the game. They're still bringing in the Dragonite. Maybe they just want to play the game out, or maybe they don't fully understand how the Sweets Relay works, or Sweets Overload works. Yep, there's a concede. They see it. Threatening for 200 on a Dragonite. Sweet. Let's go ahead and get Tails again. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly what I wanted. Though that's not what I wanted. Starting off with a Milcery instead of a Swirlix. We got a Pokeball. And oh boy. Yet another type null. And I don't like the fact that I see Fighting Energy, because it really could be Rampardos. I've got a Sabrina in hand, though, and I'm going to get my attack first. Let's go ahead, Pokeball. That'll probably get me my Swirlix in play. And at the very least, I can go ahead and attack for 10 with this Milcery and start the Sweets Relay going. Stick 1 on the board for me. And I just really hope that nothing else comes down. Yeah, there's the Fossil. There is the Fossil. I have Sabrina, so we can't take the Fossil out completely because we're only going to hit for 30, but we can still kind of stall them. Especially because you can't retreat the Fossil. There's Alcremie. That's kind of nice. What I'm going to do is we're going to attach that to Swirlix, retreat Milcery for Swirlix. I'll go ahead Sabrina for the Disruption. Get the Fossil out there, start putting some damage on it, and make them sweat a bit. And I will go ahead and evolve the Alcremie just in case we see anything funny. Yeah, I kind of wish that Swirlix did a little more, just because it is the little bit of a bigger boy, but, you know, 40 for 1 energy, maybe that's a bit much. They've got a full hand, though. We could see Rampardos come out now. Yeah, they're going to discard it. That's a smart play. Smart play. And we're going to see Silvally. Yeah. Not nice because I do only have 2 relays under my belt. And I don't have any backup. Very, very unfortunate. Very, very bad. Because, yeah, this is only going to hit for 80. I mean, unless I can get another little Pokemon. Oak is what I needed. Oak is exactly what I needed. Sabrina, we're going to have to do this. Communications, and I'm going to hope for Swirlix or even a Milcery. That'll be fine. And it's another Alcremie, so unfortunately we just swing for 80 and really pray that they don't have a supporter in their hand, but they probably do. With a hand that big, there's no way they don't have a supporter. There it is. Unfortunately, that is the game, and they're just going to be able to knock me out right away. They got set up a lot faster than I did, so... And we got a bunch of weenies. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Alright, Tails. I think, honestly, that's what I need to actually do anything. Oh, and so bad I did not start with a Swirlix in the active. That is what I really need. They got Cosmog. So it looks like we're going up against Lunala in this one. What does Lunala bring to the table in a post-EV Grove world? Well, I guess not much for turn 1. And honestly, I don't got much for turn 1. I could Ino, but with the fact that they didn't do all that much, I think we're just going to go ahead, lay it low, start with a Sweets Relay, and hopefully maybe I can draw into a Swirlix next turn. If I see my opponent draw and add some more stuff, then I think we'll go ahead. Oh, rare candy. Gonna see the Lunala right away. Not terrible, because I guess definitely, like, they want to keep things. I think we're going to have to... I think we're really going to have to Ino right here. They'll only swap in 3 cards, but I'm going to get a whole fresh hand of 5. And hopefully some more basic Pokemon. Research for next turn. There's Sabrina Communication, Irida, and an Alcremie. I'm going to have to Communications away this Alcremie. This is the crustiest feeling thing ever. But if I can get a basic out of it, not the basic I wanted, but it is a basic. At the very least, they're not going to be able to attack all that much, and I can do 30 right now at least to this Lunala. And I got a Professor Oak for next turn. Maybe we could even... do we want to? Because if we leave them for 2 turns, a little longer, they're going to knock out this Milcery here and start getting closer toward a victory. Not amazing. Not amazing. Attach it in energy and pass. However, again, they're going to be all powered out next turn. So we got Alcremie. So what? That's going to hit for... Well, you know, at this rate, honestly, if I stay in with this Milcery, there's a Swirlix. I think I stay in with this Milcery. I'll stick an energy on the Alcremie. And I guess we'll just Sweets Relay once more. That puts us up to 3, which is really nice. Right? That's 3 Sweets Relay. By now, I believe so. And again, got the Swirlix here. That cape isn't cool. And they're putting a cape on an Abra. Though they only have 1 card in hand. So kind of not looking terrible. If I can draw into a Slurpuff here, that puts me in a much better position. But even still, sending in Slurpuff or Swirlix just to just to Sweets Relay and die isn't terrible. I'm gonna leave things here. I'm gonna leave this Lunala up here. And this is not gonna get me. Yeah, we're not gonna get into Slurpuff just yet. So I think I'll go ahead and just Sweets Relay. We'll go down with the ship. They don't have much energy on their board, but once I get rid of this Lunala, or actually, once we get to the point where Alcremie is kind of like really rolling, again, they're giving me a lot of time. Ooh, Giratina EX, finally hitting the board. They're giving me a lot of time, which is not good. Which is very not good. Swirlix down. They've got 2 points, but Alcremie's kind of charged up and ready to go. So let me go ahead and Sweets Overload for 160. Knock out Lunala ASAP. And then force them to bring out one of their... They're probably going to just bring out Giratina right now, maybe? To hide behind it? Yep. Doesn't have enough energy, but they're going to hide behind it. Oak. Will we see anyone in the back evolve? There's a Rocky Helmet onto the Giratina. Attach an energy. And I think that is kind of it. Broken Space Bellow. Didn't get ready fast enough. However, at this point, we're swinging for 160 with the Alcremie. So we kind of just knock out almost any EX. Not any of the 180 HP ones, but any of the basic ones like this, they don't stand a chance. So we're back with the deck, and yeah, so we're back with the deck, and yeah, that was kind of fun. That was a fun one. It's a lot more fun than I expected. Pros and cons, really quick. Pros is that it really does start building up. It is low energy cost. Your highest energy cost is going to be Slurpuff, which needs 2 to attack. and 3 to retreat, which sometimes you want to do that. Otherwise, your main big boss, your finisher, is Alcremie, and it only requires 1 energy. A lot of times you can even just sit on Milcery, send it in, attach an energy, evolve, and then just hit for big numbers. The other upside is that your main resource that you're investing in is something that your opponent cannot interact with, right? Normally building up energy during a game can be disrupted by, like Team Rocket Grunts or any other like energy discard. Alcremie tracks the number of times you've used a move, which is something your opponent can't take away because you've already used it, which is, and is something that they're not actively visually able to see. So time to play this deck is now, while you can get these cards really quick and easy, and while not everybody knows exactly what Alcremie does, because that is also a big advantage to really weird offbeat decks like this, is you come in with an element of surprise and your opponent maybe doesn't necessarily know what to expect. The downside, obviously the cons, are that all of your guys are weenies. Slurphuff's your biggest one at 120, and then with a cape goes up to 140, which is really nice and hits for 90 for 2 energy. Alcremie is such a liability at only 80 HP. Really wish they would have made it 100. And then on top of that, your Swirlix is only 60, and then your Milcery is only 50. That one is especially, that hurts. Otherwise, yeah, it needs a way to get into your cards too. Again, we're only playing like 2 evolution lines of Pokemon, keeping it simple, so I didn't want to really overcomplicate things. I've seen different builds utilize some of the other Sweets Relay Pokemon, like Vanillite and Vanillish, the Ice Cream Boys. Sadly, Vanillux does not have a Sweets related attack, so I think that those aren't really worth the investment. Otherwise, Appleton, it mixes up your energy a bit too much, and the fact that Applin does not have Sweets Relay just makes it not fit into the deck. And lastly, I've also seen Shiinotic in the deck in order to draw. However, the fact that you need to evolve it in order to start drawing, I would much rather just those 2 cards taken up by the evolution line potentially contribute to the actual strategy of the deck. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a deck that you built, and have you tried it out? Again, good, cheap deck to build right now at the beginning of Eevee Grove. It'll be maybe cool and good and fun for about a week or so, and then we probably won't talk about a whole lot more unless we get more Sweets Relay Pokemon, which I do hope for. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. That'd be great. Very much appreciated. And comments, yes, please. Very, very appreciated. Anyway, this is Gatorex. Catch you later.